Welcome. Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Colleen Gaffney, this year's Richmond chapter president. This year we've accomplished a great deal in community service and in fundraising. We have realized over 734 hours of service so far. It's pretty impressive. It's been a year that has once again supported students in the community with tutoring sessions. I'd personally like to recognize the following for making themselves available to the community as tutors. When I call your name, please stand up. Addison Andenoff, Alyssa Barton, Alasia Bashi, Sarah Campbell, Olivia Kessler, Jacob Mathis, Jennifer Merriman, Melissa Rask, Samantha Schaefer, Noelle Schur, Allison Schweiger, Katie Townsend, and Natasha Woodruff. We've also had an exceptional fundraising year through our cookie dough sales, which have enabled us to make considerable donations to local homeless families and children in need. Our bell ringing efforts alone this past holiday season raised nearly $20,000. The membership of the RHS chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of the four qualities held in high esteem by the Society. Today, as we acknowledge the new inductees, we will also exchange the officers in a symbolic ceremony akin to the passing of the torch. I'd like to wish the officers success in the upcoming year. I'd also like to thank Mr. Rainier for his guidance over the past year. Now, four members of the National Honor Society will review these qualities for the candidates: scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
Scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Service. Service can be described in many ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation for a better tomorrow.
Leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge in each of our members.
Character. Character is the force within each individual that distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides one through life and, when developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Good afternoon and welcome to this special occasion. Fire hazard, right? We need to think of safety first. I am very happy to be here, and it's always great to stand up here and hear a little crying voices in the audience, future NHS members. So good for us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike Rainier. I'm the National Honor Society advisor. I also teach writing, English, and psychology here at the high school. As Colleen said, and well said, Colleen, thank you, we're here today for many reasons: to reflect, to remind, and to recognize. This, above all, is an induction ceremony. It is our moment to welcome into our Richmond NHS chapter those ambitious individuals, those ambitious students, worthy and willing to carry the torch of honor within the walls of high school and among the citizens and communities, both local and abroad. However, before we begin to honor new inductees, I want to reflect, remind, and recognize an important group of NHS members, the ever-impressive third-year members. To be in the NHS means many things. And some of the more important aspects of membership involves time commitment. We ask our members to dedicate themselves to 20 service and 10 fundraising hours every year. And we ask members to maintain an impressive 3.5 GPA all throughout their service and commitment. For most, these requirements are not easy because it requires time. And time, as we know, sometimes is not on our side. Relating this to third-year members means multiplying these feats, which is impressive. What's most impressive to me is that GPA element. The following third-year members have maintained a 3.5 GPA since their sophomore year, and I'm sure for some that's been the case all through high school and quite possibly even middle school. Members, when I call your name, if you wouldn't mind simply just standing for a few moments to be recognized. Addison Andenoff, she couldn't be here today. Ryan Boyd, Kenzie Burke, Leah Gonzalez, Mary Kazmerzak, Olivia Kessler, Casey Malberg, Caitlin Niebauer, Alexa Perry, Dennis Rosick, Samantha Schaefer, Noelle Schuer, who also couldn't be here today. Brittany Schmidt couldn't be here either. Evan Cirilla. I'm sorry, did I say Haley Schweiger? Haley Schweiger, please. Evan Cirilla. Emily Swantek. Emily, that's okay. I know you're on crutches. Oh, okay. Katie Sesniak and Natasha Woodruff. Thank you, third-year members. Thank you, seniors. You truly do make a difference. Being part of the National Honor Society is a commitment one must be able to make even as an advisor. It is a commitment I am proud to be a part of because it is a selfless endeavor. And though certainly we all have within us some want of gain, that want from an NHS perspective is very simple. It's to do good. We all know the feeling of doing good, of making the world one community at a time, one person at a time, a better place, of leaving that mark of goodness for others to learn from. It is a feeling that tingles. It is hope. I have felt that tingle of hope all year, and it has made me proud of this Richmond chapter and its benevolent efforts. To the current NHS officers, I salute your efforts this year. President Colleen Gaffney, Vice President Anna Frazier, Secretary Alasia Bashi, Treasurer Jennifer Merriman, and Historian Melissa Resk. All these officers are third-year members as well. You did a great job this year. When I called on you, you responded without hesitation, although sometimes I felt like Jimmy Johns needed to be attached to that, but that's okay. Seriously, though, you responded immediately. When I needed your opinion or judgment, you gave it. You gave it freely and in a mature manner. I want you all to know that I appreciate your support, whether taking attendance during meetings, unloading and organizing boxes and boxes and boxes of cookie dough, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year, collecting and counting money, or simply answering questions that other NHS members had. You have all done a fantastic job, and I appreciate you. Oh, and regarding those boxes, upon those boxes and boxes of cookie dough, I know these officers are proud of this big fact, and so they made me promise to convey this fact to you all. It is actually quite impressive. But first, a quick story. As I've said, our cookie dough sales is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and the delivery day is typically a day I dread because there's always a problem, as you can imagine. The past 5 years since I've been advisor, there's been a problem. Last year, there was a lot of problems. There's always broken tubs of cookie dough, missing tubs, not enough tubs, too much of this, too little of that, organization errors, what have you. And it's all fixable, of course, but still. And this has been the case during my tenure for the last 5 years or so, and it's also been the case for my predecessor, Mr. John Slater, who worked with the NHS for about 12 years. Always a problem, every year a problem. I believe, he's told me that he didn't even know how to fix it. Well, and this is the big fact that I know these officers are proud of. All cookie dough transactions this year went off without a hitch. Not a single mistake. It was a perfect process. So thank you. Although I will say it's nice when there's an extra tub of cookie dough, but there weren't any this year. And again, I thank you for stepping up as you've done so and making this year very successful for myself and for the community. So thank you, ladies. New officers, you too have a special place in all this. In my opinion, it takes a determined individual to want to run for office. And so next year's officers, President Beth Bendit, Vice President Katie Townsend, Secretary Sarah Campbell, Treasurer Allison Schweiger, and Historian Renee McNulty, I praise you for stepping up and stepping into the leadership roles you've set your sights on. I look forward to working and learning and making a difference with each of you beginning this June, so congratulations. Colleen, did your mother stick around? Is she here? Mrs. Gaffney, are you in the audience? Could you raise your hand, please? Thank you, Mrs. Gaffney, for picking up the pies. I really appreciate that, and so will all the others. This becomes sort of a tradition for the president's mom or parent member to go to Achatz and pick up the pies that we'll enjoy at the ceremony's end. So thank you again, Mrs. Gaffney, not only for the leadership qualities you've infused in your daughter, but for bringing the dessert. I really do appreciate that, so thank you. I would be remiss to not recognize and thank some important others. First, I would like to thank the administrative support that is here today behind me. Dr. Olson, you being here this afternoon means so much to me and so much to us and the community. Thank you for your continued support very much. To the school board members in attendance today, thank you for being here and recognizing the efforts of the NHS students. To Mrs. Michon and Mr. Bordeaux, I cannot express my gratitude enough to both of you. Each of you in your own ways has supported me personally and professionally. To me, the world of education is more than test scores and lesson plans and even GPAs. It is the art of relationships. I am fortunate to work with each of you. To me, your partnership as building administrators is exceptional. We are professionals, we are colleagues, and I consider you my friends. Without each of you, the NHS here at Richmond High School would not feel as strong as it does in this moment, and for that I thank both of you. Next, I believe it's necessary to thank the parents. I am a parent myself. I have 3 young children at home, and I worry more often than not about the young adults they will one day become. I hope to realize the pride you must now feel in this moment as you support your child as an NHS member. You may have heard it said that education begins at home. I believe it does. I also believe that in the storybook of our lives, education unfolds furthest from that beginning in the home. It is a start that stretches a lifetime forward. Dorothy is right. There truly is no place like home. Please continue to support your daughters and sons as they face the inspiring demands of the NHS in the semesters to come. So, new inductees, I see you. You're waiting. I know. Thank you. What does it take to be an NHS student, an NHS member? As with any NHS chapter around the country, you do not volunteer. You are selected. I'd like to quote our handbook. Students may not apply for membership in the NHS. Membership is granted only to those students selected by the faculty council in each school. In another section of the handbook, it states, membership in the NHS is an honor bestowed upon a student. Those are powerful words. Those are powerful directions. All potential NHS students begin with an academic screening. If they qualify with a 3.5 grade point average or above, they are invited to a selection process by writing an essay describing how they demonstrate the other 3 pillars of the NHS: leadership, character, and service. A committee of 5 teachers, which is our faculty council, reviews the material turned in by each student and votes on whether they should be inducted into the NHS. Not everyone is selected. This is not an easy thing to do, but it is a necessary selection to make. The NHS must be represented by well-rounded, outstanding students and citizens. A lot is expected from the NHS student. That is why we must make such careful selections. I would also like to point out another quote from our handbook. Once selected, members have the responsibility to continue to demonstrate these qualities. As new members, you will be asked to complete 20 hours of community service and 10 hours of fundraising every year. You will also be asked to volunteer time into the tutoring program and various other services that we provide. These hours of commitment can be a challenge if you do not dedicate your efforts early. And as you'll see from the video presentation our historian, Miss Alyssa Rusk, has put together, we do have some fun along the way. Joining the NHS is a great honor. New inductees, you should be proud of yourselves. We will now proceed with the induction of new members. New members, when your name is called, please come to the stage to receive congratulations and your induction card and pin. Megan, music please. Dan Fissler. Hannah Nichter. Odalis Quintanilla. Elizabeth Renner. Trevor Barrett. I like the knuckle. I think it works. Congratulations. Carly Carroll. Liliana Chmielewski couldn't make it tonight. Grace Daniel. Hannah DeLay. Max Farney. Jacob Ferlito. Emily Fitzsimons. Mackenzie Gagalis. Stephanie Graham. Andrew Hamel. Carly Kaltz. Chelsea Cattleman. Paige Cohn could not make it tonight. Ashley Kazatko. Oh, I don't think she can make it. Lauren Maximuk. Connor Margosian. Kylie McCloskey. Sarah McNichol. Cecilia McPherson. Ashley Newman. Jordan Osterland. Emma Perry. Ashley Reese. Erica Schaefer. Dana Shornack. Lindsay Schweiger. Matt Scoriant. Olivia Van Hove. Stephanie Woodruff. And Nate Young. Okay, thank you, Megan. And thank you. Congratulations to all of you. I know you will serve your school and your community well. And now for our historian's video presentation by Melissa Resk. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Well done with that. Before I introduce next year's NHS President, Beth Bendit, to close the ceremony, I'd like to leave everyone here with some parting thoughts. Those of you who know me best know I'm a pretty big Rush fan. And no, I don't mean Rush Limbaugh. I'm talking about Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart, a three-man band from Canada that continue to rock the music scene to this day. Anyway, on their 2007 album, Snakes and Arrows, there's a song titled Armor and Sword. And from that song, I take the following: Our better natures seek elevation. I'd like to tie that lyrical line to another quote I heard from the late Professor Randy Pausch. You might remember Professor Pausch from Carnegie Mellon University's last lecture series. Professor Pausch was discovered to have cancer and was given 3 months of good health to live before his death in 2008. So he gave a final lecture on childhood dreams and how the path to success is blocked more often than not with brick walls. Mr. Pausch says, "Brick walls are there for a reason. They let us prove how badly we want things." To all NHS members, whether you're leaving or whether you're arriving, I hope you are able to realize your better natures as you seek elevation. And I hope you're able to crumble the brick walls that block your way, for block your way they will, unless you do something about it. And now I introduce to you next year's NHS President, Beth Bendit, who would like to say a few closing words to you. Thank you all so very much.
Good afternoon. I am both honored and flattered to have been asked to speak for this wonderful occasion. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to represent such motivated, hardworking, and intelligent kids. And for this, I congratulate each of you and your parents. The students inducted today have proven themselves to be the embodiment of these principles and thus have achieved the honor of becoming members of the NHS. An honor such as this is a wonderful way for the school and community to recognize and celebrate the choices and sometimes the sacrifices students have made. To them, I say well done. Your induction represents not only recognition of your accomplishments, but also your commitment to maintaining the standards upon which this induction was based. You are distinguished amongst your peers, and I am glad to welcome you to the National Honor Society. I believe that what should make you and your parents the most proud is the actual honor itself, or is not the actual honor itself, but what you had to do to get it. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the reward of a thing well done is what you had to do to get it. Any recognition is just the icing on the cake, not to be expected, but definitely to be enjoyed. However, I challenge you not to rest on your past achievements, but to continue to strive towards even loftier goals. The 4 requirements for membership in which you have excelled, scholarship, leadership, community service, and character, were not chosen at random. They are the core of a fulfilled and fulfilling life. John Quincy Adams once said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." I hope that those of you inducted today will view this as an opportunity not only to further your ambitions, but to help others do so as well. You are here because you have been recognized as distinctive scholars and effective leaders. You have shown a willingness to serve your community, and you have displayed impeccable character. Induction into NHS marks you as a worthy role model, and that is an honor as well as a responsibility. A responsibility to yourself and your community, to help those around you reach their full potential. The qualities on which NHS was founded, those same qualities for which you are being recognized today, will enable you to fulfill this responsibility. Congratulations on becoming a member of the National Honor Society. NHS members, please stand for the pledge. I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing, to hold as fundamental and worthy and untarnished character, to endeavor intelligently and courageously, to be a leader, and to give of myself freely in service to others. In doing so, I shall prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society. I invite you all to head to the lobby for pies and drinks. Thank you for attending this year's National Honor Society induction ceremony. Thank you.